Hello, welcome to our first talk of Android stage of mDevMeet. But before we dive into it, let me give you a couple organizational information. So mDevMeet this year is about meeting and networking. We've prepared a couple games. You can check out the games at stands of our partners on the main street in virtual world. And unlike past years, we have shorter talks, but it's because we wanted to have more space for discussions about the topics we are going to have talks about. So after each of the talks, you can walk to the main street of the virtual world, and there you can meet the speaker you have seen on the stage and discuss the topic with him, go much deeper, and you will have enough time for discussing anything that interests you about the topic he will be talking about. And with that, let me invite on stage our first speaker, the speaker you attendees voted for. The first speaker of Android stage is Adam Černý. Adam?
Hello. Hello.
Adam is essentially a full-stack developer with interest in mobile technologies. He worked on projects in fintech, on Android ROM and ad framework, ad network, sorry. And he is always looking for new challenges. But he says about himself that he's really lazy. I'm interested in that in the speaker's corner. The talk Adam prepared is about SDK development, which is great, kinda. Because Adam worked for last 3.5 years on Smartlook SDK. He will share story about testing, no-dependency and development. He will share story about building a build process for 8 mobile platforms, and also about how they started with OpenGL and WebGL. So without further ado, let's put our virtual or real hands together for Adam. Adam, the stage is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much for introduction, Michal. I hope that my great presentation is available and everybody can see it. Yeah, great. So as you can see, I'm going to use some memes during the presentation. The reason for that is, well, we really like Pepe the Frog. That's the first reason. And the second one is that you can see we have really nice slides. However, in startup life, you have to make a lot of bending to make things work. And this is the reminder that not everything is perfect, as this meme. So let me tell you something about me just really quickly. As Michal said, I'm for a few years I'm with guys at Smartlook working on the SDK, and during that I also worked on a fintech project on digital bank, or currently I'm helping out with the SSI project, which is the self-sovereign identity, just like decentralized digital identity. So if you are, for example, pissed off because of how banks and state forced identity upon us, it might be interesting reading for you. But I know, like, my knowledge about that is really limited. So let's get into the Smartlook. That's going to be much more interesting for you. In the next 20 minutes at most, I want to tell you really short something about Smartlook, what we offer in terms of features, because then I can talk in more detail about the technical challenges we have to solve. Then something about our plans, which might be interesting for conversation later, in the Q&A, and some final notes. As you can see from the meme on the right side, this is basically Smartlook. We are trying to be something in the global market of analytics. For now, we are just that green weird guy, but in a few years we hope to gain some muscles. In general, we are a SaaS startup, video analytics, and our I would say mission is to help our customers to find any flaws in their applications, through the analytics and the session recording. Very quickly, we have about 55 people, 2 offices in Brno and Prague, and some of us are working remotely completely. There's about 2,600 paying customers. So it's no longer a small project, and we have to be very careful not to make any like production related mistakes. Sometimes, well, I will tell you more about it later. Last year in December, we got an investment, $3.6 million, which is going to help us with the expansion, and we can experiment a lot more with the new features and not being like scared to basically bankrupt. But yeah, everything is fine, even without the investment, I would say. So quickly about the SDK, what we offer. SDK automatically collects like a lot of information in the session. The first one is the video of the application as is. So I will show you an example later. We also collect a lot of metadata like touches, clicks, gestures, screen names, and so on. Screen names like names of the main of activities or fragments. In games, it's a little bit more complicated because, for example, in Unity, it's out of our reach to detect the screen changes. So what is happening is that we also like provide possibility to enter manually the name of the screen, and we are hiding sensitive fields like edit text and so on, and we offer also integrations. So as an event in your, for example, Crashlytics, there is a link to our dashboard so you can see what happened before the crash. And we support a bunch of frameworks. The list is on the right side of the screen, but we can also support any custom game engine, I would say. Very quickly, with the data we collect, we can show you, for example, we can show you our custom events and different statistics, and there's a play button, so you can play any recordings that are connected with the search event. We offer funnels that I guess everybody knows what's the funnel. Interesting thing is that we can give you recordings of the drop-offs, so that might be very, very helpful for example, for the UX guys. And we can show you more detailed information about events, for example. The feature list is much more detailed, but we don't have time for that, I would say. There's just a quick video of the dashboard. I don't want to switch my presentation, so as you can see, this is the application as I interacted with on my mobile phone, and this is the output of our SDK. This is the recording on the top part of the screen. You can see that we collected screen names, for example, and yeah, that's about it. You can try it out later because at the end of the presentation, I have a promo link, so you can try it out. Oh, sorry. Nice. Apart from the recording of the application as is, we have some customers in fintech or pharma that and they are very concerned about the like personal info and so on. So we offer multiple modes for recording that just capture the structure of the application. So for example, developers can see if everything works like it should, but without any personal information hassle, like what the user was exactly doing or reading. So that's also very helpful. So now shown you what we can do very shortly. So let's get into our challenges. The first one, the encoders, shaders, and video in general. We are rendering video on the device. For that, we are using the hardware encoders. We are using H.264 and the media codec. We would love to use like modern codecs in the future, but there is a lot of complications with that because not many devices can support new codecs, or even browsers doesn't have to have like the correct decoder on hardware layer. So H.264 is a safe bet. The funny thing about that is that the setting of the codec is pretty. I would not say super complicated, but it can be tricky in the sense that you have to set a profile, for example, and a level for the codec, which means that the codec is it means that it can use some features, the performance, the quality of the record of the video, and so on. And there is a specification of how or what should be supported on the devices with some Android versions. But since there is a lot of vendors, it can be very complicated to actually set it correctly, and then you have crash in native code, and that's really painful. So that was very difficult to make it right. I believe that currently everything works how it should, but yeah, that was very difficult, and we can talk about it more in detail later. What is great about media codec is that it supports like shaders or the shading language. So you can do like filtering, or as you saw, for example, that we are like hiding the sensitive information from the screen, which can also be done via these shaders, and it's really great. I mean, the rabbit hole is very deep to learn everything about the shaders and OpenGL and so on. But once that in your mind, it can be very powerful. For some weird reasons, and because we have a lot of there's like, I don't know, maybe 9,000 devices in total from different vendors. Anyway, we have to blacklist some of them, or even basically record just a black screen, because we are not able to solve what's going on from different vendors. But it's like very small part of the whole set, and because of that, we also have like custom feature flags implemented on our side. There's a lot of like SaaS companies that are offering this, but we did it in house. It was cheaper, I guess. One nice thing about the recordings that we support adaptive recording, which means that when there's nothing happening on the screen, we are not taking any screenshots or adding anything to the video, which helps with the performance, memory, and so on. And we also capture a lot of statistics about how the rendering is fast on your mobile phone, which can be also used for analytics of overall performance of your application. The next great thing we learn is that Android open source project is really your friend. On iOS, working with the codecs and so on is more streamlined, I would say, but on Android, you can actually understand what's going on. As a first example, like digging into the media codec is very helpful into the code sometimes, because you can find out what's going on, why it's crashing for different vendors, and you can make some precautions so your customers are safe. One funny story is that I'm not sure if it's going to be so interesting for you, but it was about 4 a.m. and we need to finish one last step to have one feature finished, and we had to do something with the window manager, but we were not able to access some fields with the reflection. And thanks to the Android open source project, I guess that it was not desired effect from the guys from Google, but we found out that there's a like accessible toString function. So even though we were not able to get the field itself, there was a toString and parsing. So that was nice. On the right side, you see one meme. That's because of the rendering pipeline. Because thanks to AOSP, you can at least somehow understand how rendering pipeline is working on Android, how it's with the OpenGL, how it's with the SKIA. So that's also very helpful, and I would recommend it for everybody to open AOSP for some time. The last thing about this is we currently have no dependencies because it was a hassle with the fed binaries. However, we found out about the project for the shadowing of the packages, which means that it's going to rename your packages. It's similar to Jetifier. We were not able to run the library properly, but we edited the script for the Jetifier to do this for us, which is also cool. And I would say that without making SDK, these problems are never occurring in normal development. So it's a good thing to know. I'm looking at my time, and I will speed it up a little bit. One important thing for us is the end-to-end testing. For testing of the SDK, it can be a little bit complicated because you can have unit tests and so on, but there is so many moving parts with the encoding and capturing of all the data and so on. So we have DSL, custom DSL, that basically defines the test that runs on the device, and the DSL also defines the data that we are expecting on the backend side in the database and so on. So it was fun to write the scripts for that, and at least we are somehow sure that everything is as it should be. Let's talk about the future, because that's something that we are looking for. One of the things that we want to improve are the heat maps for sure, because we are currently not able to, if you have super long feed, we are not able to properly mark the heat maps. So that's something we are working on. The next thing we are going to release soon is the user flow. The name is going to be changed probably, but never mind. Which is like generalized funnels, so we can see exactly how the users are using your application. And now I would like to show you our stuff that is going to be released next week. This is the beta version without newest features, so I'm not I don't want to do spoilers. But what we are doing, this is the recording from the previous example, right? This is like the application looks like. But what we actually did was that we captured the structure of the application and we interpreted in the WebGL. As you can see, the recording is moving. It's interpolation on our side in the WebGL. We capture screen by screen, frame by frame, sorry, and the interpolation is done on the WebGL side. I want to show you one cool thing that maybe you are annoyed in the Android Studio. This application is very complicated in the layout. I will show you in a few seconds. Meantime, you can, yes. So this is very complicated layout, right? There's multiple fragments over itself. I mean, in general, we should not program like this, I guess, right? But it happens. As you can see, we also on the left side, on the left upper corner, there's ray tracing. There's like tracing of the selected component, so you can debug in that layer if your layout is correct, which can also help you a lot. You can do some stuff like expanding of the layout. Then you can have like orthogonal view. So this is actually the application, how it looks for the user, right? Without a 3D model. So it can be also very, very useful. And we have some big plans with that. Yeah, so I can see that my time is almost up. I just want to tell you we are hiring a lot of positions, CMO, and the rest is basically development, also the mobile product manager. We are looking for guys for OpenGL, WebGL, front-end, back-end with TypeScript, or you can be a DevOps guy. So in case you would be interested. You can try it for yourself. There is a promo link for sign up. So we would be very interested in your feedback, and if you like it or not, we are very open for that. So I guess my time is up. Thank you very much.
Okay, Adam, thank you so much for your speech. You've been the first brave one to be on the stage this year, on the stage. And now I will ask you to close the streaming app and open 3D Virtual World and start moving, please, to Android Speakers Corner. And thank you so much. I'm the only one clapping for the talk. You cannot see others, but you will meet them in the Speakers Corner. And between you moving there, I will just say a couple of more organizational things for everyone. So Adam is now switching to Virtual World, and you can move to the Speakers Corner on the main street and meet him there in like 2 or 3 minutes. And in between the next talk, which is starting at 3 p.m., so it's more than half an hour, you can either go and discuss with Adam, or you can do anything in the world. You can play one of the games, meet some of the partners who prepare the games. There is a puzzle game. There is a game where you can win actual vouchers for plane tickets. Or you can go to Networking Island on top right corner in the map on the virtual world. And there you can see the chat zones with the topics. If you are interested in one of the topics there in the networking zone, just stand there for a minute and someone will join you to discuss the topic, and you can dive deeper together and maybe exchange contacts and go further as you want. So that's it from the first talk. Now it's time for networking, meeting people and games, or visiting the Speakers Corner. So see you at 3 p.m. back on Android or iOS stage.